Howdy, I'm Drew, I'm that frog guy, and today we're gonna drill an aquarium, so stay tuned. So what I got here is a 20-gallon high aquarium that I got at the last Petco $1 a gallon sale. So this cost me 20 bucks. What I'm gonna do today is drill two holes, a return and a whatever the other one's called. A return and a drain, where I'm gonna put these, well, they're a little larger than I wanted, but they are 3/4 inch return pump nozzle. I think I showed it in the last video, which is gonna go here on this side, and then a return, or not a return, but a drain on the other, which will have a drain box eventually. I still haven't got that in yet, so hopefully whatever I do today is not going to mess up the placement. I'm going to have it over a little bit so I have a little bit of room to work and a little bit higher. But I'm going to make sure, I've done the math with the sump, and I want to make sure that my water level to the bottom of this drain is going to be exactly, or the top of the drain, or no, the bottom of the drain is going to be 1 inch down, at least try to. So that's kind of high up there. I'm going to have to go a little lower, so my water level might be about there. We'll see how high I can get it. But what you're going to need today to drill your own tank is first you're going to know what size you're going to do. And you're going to need one of these bad boys. A drill. I'd recommend a corded drill. I just don't have one, so I'm going to go cordless. This is a 3/4 inch drilling hole for cutting glass, tile, whatever. I'd also recommend a tape measure, because you're going to need that. Some kind of way of marking your hole, at least the edge you want to start cutting on. You're also going to need some kind of tape to place on the opposite side of the hole to make the cut a little cleaner. It's not going to matter too much because it's going to get covered up with these bulkheads, but you're also going to need to know what size bulkheads you want to do. But we can get started. You're also going to need water, and a lot of it. So either have a buddy or a cup standing by, but we're going to turn this tank on its side, do some measurements, and figure out where exactly I want these placements. So let's pick you up and show you. So here's how it's gonna look. I know for sure my tank will fill 1 inch of water if for some reason I stop siphoning. The pump will pump up 1 inch up. So I'm gonna give it a little extra room just in case, but I wanna make sure I don't have too much of a gap between the black and where my drain's at. So I'm thinking somewhere, probably have to go about here for both. If you guys can see, one's gonna go here, and the other one's gonna go on the opposite side here. I have 4 bulkheads, but I'm only gonna be using 2 for this build. But we're gonna first do some quick measurements to make sure my placement is going to be correct. So I know I probably won't have water up to the rim. It's going to be hard doing it one-handed. So I'm not going to have water up to the rim, but as you guys can see, 1 inch out is about there. So that's where I'd want the bottom of my drain, maybe even the top, but I'm thinking I'm going to go down maybe 1.5 inch mark here. So that's going to be about where center of my hole is going to be. I don't want to get too close to the edge because when you cut things right on the edge, it's not always the safest bet. It would be nice if I had like a straight edge though for this. And then I got to decide exactly placement. Because I have these edges on here, as you guys can see. I can't go any higher than there. So I need to make sure, looks like 2 inches is going to be my center. So I'm going to have like 1 inch overflow. So I'm going to mark the bottom edge, kind of about there. I'm going to figure out equal distance from the edge. I haven't decided how far in I want it yet. I'm thinking about that placement. We'll back it up. I'm thinking one there and then one 3x2 to the centers. So just make sure my 2 inch mark is the same. If I can stop messing with this guy. Some light in there. There we go. So that's the 2. It's about the center. I think that's about the placement I want. So now that I kind of know where I want it, I'm gonna mark it. I'm gonna mark it first by the edge of this guy, but I also really need to mark the edge of where it's actually gonna cut. Maybe even better if I do the top edge here too. So I just kind of did that quick, kind of to show the center of the hole, so I can line up the outside pretty good. And there's probably more of a mathematical way of doing it, but that's about where I want it, kind of right in here. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're just going to cut all this glass out and then wipe off the permanent marker later. So one hole's going to go there. I probably won't need to show you guys both hole drilling processes, but one will go there and the other will go on the exact opposite side. So the next part of this, once you've found your placement, I'm going to take a little bit of tape and put it on the other side and then gather up some water for the next step. The tape's going to hold the piece of glass from falling in to the tank. It's also going to keep those edges nice and clean. And I don't know how well this tank's going to cut. I don't know. I don't believe the 20 gallons they sell at Petco are tempered in any way. But if they are, I would never cut tempered glass. It's just going to shatter and it's going to be a big mess. Do better doing it hang on over the top flow or whatever you need to do. Just make it work. But key with glass, I don't have a, what do they call them? A guide. So what you have to do is you're gonna start by tilting the blade kind of at a 45 and then slowly tilting it into place and then going through. You're gonna need to put water on it the whole time. If you have a buddy, perfect job for them. Otherwise, you can put a little bit of putty or clay or some kind of thing around the edges to hold the water. I'm just going to do it the slow way, put a little bit of water on at a time, and we'll see how well this will translate into a video here in a second. Get you a little farther away. So I got my bucket of water. And a container off to the side that I'm going to put water with. I can't really tell my camera angle very well from here. And I'm just going to pour a little bit onto the surface here, just so I have a good start idea. Sure. So I'm going to start about here and then tilt my way up. We'll see how well this translates. it's not the prettiest. As you can see, I kind of got some chunks of glass around the edge. But I do have a hole. The more you do it, the better you get. I still haven't drilled too many fish tanks. I've drilled plenty of thinner glass in this, but that took a little while. So there you guys have it. That is how you drill a hole through glass. I'll show you guys what's next step is, but I'm first gonna test it. See if I have to go in and grind it a little bit with the edge of that bit. Bam! Fits like a glove. And I will probably silicone around the holes just to be sure. I don't want any water escaping out of these two holes. So we're gonna do the next one, but I'll do that off camera and show you it all put together. So I wanted you guys to see my little goof that I did. Oh, we'll see if you guys can see it. I'm missing a tiny chip out of that glass. Probably won't really cause a problem, but I'm gonna have to make sure I silicone right in that hole when I put it all on here. And the same thing kind of with this one, got a little nice little chip down at the bottom if it will focus. Got a little chip down at the bottom of that hole. Put a bigger chip on this hole. So I'll have to seal that with silicone, but that was kind of the plan in the first place. So there they are, they're drilled, and I'll place the equipment in and let you guys see what that looks like. And then once the overflow box gets placed, then I'll just silicone everything in place once I know my placement for everything. So I'm gonna plop them in and we'll at least let you look what it looks like. So that should be pretty cool. So this is my first tank I've drilled. I've drilled plenty of other glass, but I think honestly it's looking pretty good. So that'll be my water heights. This is the equipment here. This thing can turn and spin, and I could place the flow whatever direction I want. I could have it up towards the surface. So this will be my main power supply for water movement, and then I'll probably have at least one power head. And then on this side, I have the, what do they call it? I guess the drain. The drain is on this side. It'll have a box around it, and the water will go out of here. I may or may not get another one of these pieces to come up and then cut it off right at the height I want it to be, but I haven't decided yet. But that's kind of how it's gonna look. The hoses will hang down. Sure, it looks double. They're pretty close to matching in heights. This one I think is a little tad bit lower, which is probably fine. I could switch drain and pump. That just looks a little higher there than that one does. By like an eighth of an inch maybe. So I might be down an eighth of an inch, so that may bother me, but you will not see this one. You'll only see one at a time, so it's not really a big deal. So if you're trying to look, cord out of the water, not plugged in, but still shouldn't be in the water. If you're looking for aesthetics, don't really worry about it too much. You can go and do all the measurements you want, but I'm just gonna put a black box around that anyways, silicone it into the corner pretty much, and then probably silicone along the back side once I'm happy with placement. If it's not leaking, if it's leaking. If it's not leaking, I might just let it be, and then I'll start doing some saltwater tests. So this is part 3 of the tank build, drilling the glass, measuring for your equipment. The drill bit I used is a glass cutting bit off Amazon. They come in a package of plenty of different sizes. I also ordered some more of these bulkheads, because actually if I ordered 4, it was as cheap as buying 3, or it covered the shipping. So I was like, screw it, I'll just order a couple more and the shipping will be free. Then here is the sump after a couple days. I've tested it plenty of times. Does not leak. It's still kind of a little ugly, but this one will be attached to that tank, and then I might leave it on this really ugly cart. Maybe I'll get a new stand, but I might put it on the cart just for the time being so I can move it around a little easier, because obviously my reptile room to be is kind of in flux. I am pulling off walls, and I'm going to insulate here soon. Just been getting tanks out of here. Last thing was to get this desk out of here, and now that I'm done drilling and filming these partial videos here, I should just have a couple more days in here and then we'll be out of here. But yeah, this is part 3 of the drilling slash, or not part 3 of the drilling, part 1 of the drilling, part 3 of the 20-gallon saltwater aquarium build. And pretty much from start to finish, sump to tank to cycling to substrate to layout, I'm going to do everything with this tank. I got a bunch of rock, a bunch of sand, and I've been waiting for these bits to come in so I could drill it, and just needing the overflow, and then I can start cycling this tank. Like I said, I'll probably cycle it on said cart unless I get another thing. I need a heater, and I might steal a heater if I leave it down here, depending on how things roll out. But my name is Drew. I'm that frog guy. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave comments. I actually love to answer things I did not cover because most of this is impromptu and I don't have a script, which I should really work on because the script would be a lot easier. It's more of what I remember and what I can speak out while trying to do something at the same time. So don't feel bad about asking questions. Feel free, because I know I leave stuff out and I don't try to, but it happens. But yeah, this is the tank build. I'll show you the rest of the plumbing and show you a running plumb in the next video once I get the overflow box. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time.